heavy metal headbangers. Welcome to the Riff Maniac Heavy Metal Show. This will be a place where you can find out about bands, news, and all kinds of related items to music, especially that hard rocking and thrash that can really get your blood pumping. During our first episode, it's only fitting that we pay tribute to Jeff Hanneman, the guitarist from Slayer who recently passed on May 2nd, 2013. He had a memorial service that was held in the Hollywood Palladium on May 23rd, and he's going to be a missed guitarist who had a lot of influence on many, many bands out there today. Slayer was a speed or death metal band that came from California, and in 1983 they unleashed their method and style of music to fans across the world, and they really kind of ended up doing some stuff that tends to be in a lot of bands as far as influence today and so forth. Of course, everybody thought they were satanic, but the reality is it's pretty much a gimmick, as many bands are. But their pentagram that they had on their albums and so forth helped, energize that belief and system, or that, mythology behind the behaviors of humans in general. But now there's actually going to be a International Day of Slayer that's going to be a yearly holiday now that Jeff has passed. And if you go to www.nationaldayofslayer.org, again, that's www.nationaldayofslayer.org, you can see where this day was actually founded back in 2006. And so it's something that's been around for a little while. You may or may not have heard of, but it's just one of those things. If you want to pay tribute to, Slayer and the recent death of Jeff Hanneman, this is a place to go and learn a little bit about that. There's all kinds of little activities they suggest doing, like, blasting them in your car or in your house or wherever you work. You know, just doing all kinds of crazy things, spraying logos and different things in different places. They even suggest, killing your neighbor's dog and blaming it on Slayer. I wouldn't suggest that one, but that's just something there to kind of be a little bit funny to show the extremity of that. Anyway, so Slayer is one of those bands that are going to live on for quite some time, and their music's still out there. And even though it's been a couple years since Jeff actually played in the band, we've been hearing some albums, and songs from them. They had to actually replace him because of a spider bite, is what they thought was actually the problem that led to part of his problem. That basically he was ill for a couple years before he passed. So anyway, take some time, go visit that site and check out, some information about Slayer while you're there. In other news, the band Aminta released their lyric video for their song Sewer that's actually taken from Flesh is Air. It was released in North America on May 7th, and it throws everything extreme about metal into a blender and tops it off with your face, hitting the high-speed button, and lets things churn beyond recognition. This is something when you really don't care about anything anymore. This is good music just to kind of bury your head into. It's not industrial and it's not death metal. It's just kind of like black metal. So check out the Aminta when you get a chance. They're going to actually be doing some touring in Australia, which is not in the United States. But if you happen to be, heading over to Australia, they're going to be doing some tours from the July 11th to July 14th. You can also get their album from Listenable Records, as well as on iTunes and Amazon. And again, that's Flesh is Air, and the band is The Aminta. Check them out. Just a couple things here to talk about. Many of you may know that the band Queensryche, as we know it, actually divided up a little while back, and Scott Rockenfeld and many of the other players have actually gone off to form their own version of the band, and Jeff Tate now has actually teamed up with some talented individuals to develop his own style of music. So if you really are into Jeff Tate's vocals, you want to check out his version of it. If you're really into the music sound of it, of what Queensryche sounded like back in their time when they were actually all formed together, then you might want to actually take a listen to that. If you're going to purchase these albums, make sure that you do your research first and make sure you're getting the right album. Make sure you listen to it. The second Queensryche with Scott Rockenfeld, the drummer actually in that band, actually has a new vocalist who it's similar to Jeff Tate's style of singing, but not quite the same. It's probably a little bit more edgier, a little bit more rough. And Queensryche's version with Jeff Tate, it actually has a little bit heavier roots to it. I mean, they have people like Rudy Sarzo actually playing in it, if you can remember them from Quiet Riot and so forth back in the day. So, they're definitely worth checking out. They're both their own style. It's a little bit of your own preference. Just be warned that there are two versions of it out there, so make sure that you're getting the version you want. If you're going to pick it up in the store, you're going to pay for it. They both were released pretty much at the same time. I don't know if that was strategically planned or not, but it's something you want to make sure that you check out. At least listen to it in advance, see if it's something you're going to like to actually spend your hard-earned cash on. I'll probably pick up the one with Jeff Tate because I really like his voice. So anyway, this is Lethal X with a little bit of a news blurb for you on the Riff Maniac Heavy Metal Show. See you later.